All right, Salakia. You know, you know, but yeah, man, the Lord is going to give us our land back. All right, so we established how Jake fled into Africa, during 70 A.D. All right, you know, but from there, there's other prophecies that will be fulfilled, man. All right, and you might ask, okay, well, the 12 tribes of Israel aren't just the so-called Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians. Well, what about what about the Latin tribes? What about the you know, what about the Northern Kingdom? What about the so-called, Native Americans, the Seminole Indians as well? What about them? Because they're part of Israel. Well, the answer to that is they were already on the Western Hemisphere of the earth, okay? Before the rest of, before Judah, Benjamin, and Levi had gotten over here, okay? Salakia. They were already over here, man, all right? The land of Israel, that's in the Eastern Hemisphere of the earth. But north of the Americas, all right, from Canada all the way down to Argentina and Chile, that's the Western Hemisphere of the earth. So the northern tribes were already over here, man. They left a long time ago. So and there was, even though, but back in the land of Israel, it was predominantly Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. But there was just a little, a sprinkle of the Northern Kingdom in there, Let me just prove that real quick. All right. The apostle had brought this out. This is the book of Luke 2. In verse 36, it says, "And there was one Anna, a prophetess, the daughter of Phanuel of the tribe of Asher." Asher is a part of the Northern Kingdom. It says, "She was of great age and had lived with her husband 7 years from her virginity." All right. So, you had sprinkled the Northern Kingdom. But, so after this, right? So after 70 AD, Jake going in Africa, Jake had experienced what? The transatlantic slave trade. All right, which is also part of the curses that was put on the that was put on us Israelites, okay? But let me just deal with the Northern Kingdom first, okay? Before I go into that. All right. So this is when you go back to, you see, because Northern Kingdom, they left a long time ago, man. They left the land of Israel a long time ago. All right. So this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, starting at verse 40. All right, it says, "Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hoshea the king, whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land." Now, you can find this history, and I'll read it real quick, in the book of 2 Kings, the 17th chapter, verses 1 through 6. And it says, "In the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, began Hoshea, the son of Elah, to reign in Samaria, over Israel 9 years." So this is the king of the Northern Kingdom. Verse 2, "And he did that which was evil in the sight of Yahweh, but not as the kings of Israel that were before him." Verse 3, "Against him came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, and Hoshea became his servant and gave him presents." Verse 4, "And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hoshea, for he had sent messengers to So, king of Egypt, and brought no present to the king of Assyria, as he had done year by year. Therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison." Verse 5, "Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land, and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years." Verse 6, "In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel, the Northern Kingdom, away into Assyria, and placed them in Halah and in Habor by the river of Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes." All right. So during the time of the Assyria, pretty much, Northern Kingdom got carried away captive into the land of Assyria, right? So back in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, in the 40th verse again, "Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hoshea the king," we just read, "whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land." So that's what we just read, okay? The Northern Kingdom got carried away captive into land of Assyria. All right. Verse 41. Listen up though. But they, the northern kingdom, took this counsel amongst themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. All right. So, so while the 10 tribes that were in the land of Assyria in captivity, they counseled what to do, and they came to the conclusion that they leave and go into another land where never mankind lived at. All right. Dwell means to live somewhere. When you go somewhere and just visit, you don't dwell there. You're just visiting. When you live somewhere, and when you go somewhere and come back, you don't dwell there. You're just visiting. When you dwell somewhere, you're actually living there. All right. And this is talking about the western hemisphere of the earth, where it says, and go forth to a further country where never mankind dwelt. All right, which is North, Central, and South America. All right. Mankind had never lived over on this western hemisphere of the earth before. All right. Verse 42, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. So the northern kingdom, they came to the western part of the world to keep the law because they didn't keep it in the land of Israel. All right. Verse 43, and they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. All right. So, so the 10 tribes, they entered into the northern kingdom, they entered into the Euphrates River and rode all the way into the Persian Gulf. And then the apostles, show you how they, go to the Euphrates River, go into the Persian Gulf, and come around and go around the southern part of Africa, over into the Americas, and we migrated up. We migrated from that bottom part of South America upwards, okay, into the Americas. All right, verse 44. So verse 43 again, it says, and they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. So the Most High calmed the seas for the 10 tribes, for the northern kingdom. All right, so they were passed over. Okay, so the Lord, he calmed the sea for the northern kingdom, like how Yahweh calmed the waters, but pretty much just saying he calmed the seas. All right, until the northern kingdom passed over from where they were, to the Americas, because this is a part of prophecy. All right, and then see, this is when Genesis 49, there's prophecies in Genesis 49 and things will take place. Okay, will take place, man. All right, on the western hemisphere of the earth. All right, but continuing 2nd Ezra 13 and 45, it says, for through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half. All right, and the same region is called Arsareth. All right, so it says, Salakia. So it took the northern kingdom a year and a half, to get to the Americas. All right, which is which the scripture here calls Arsareth. All right, which means another land. Because when you look up in Deuteronomy 29 and 28, right, which I'm going to look it up. Deuteronomy chapter 29 and verse 28 says, and Yahweh rooted them out of their land in anger and in wrath and in great indignation and cast them into another land as it is this day. All right. When you look up the words for another land, it literally sounds like Arsareth, letting you know. Okay. So let's look it up in Deuteronomy 29 and 28. In the Hebrew, Deuteronomy, the 29th chapter, the 28th verse. In the Hebrew, for the word another land. All right, for the words another land. All right. So the word for another is Acharath. Acharath, and the word land is Aratazah. So when you put it together, Acharat, Aratazah, it sounds like you're saying Arsareth. Okay. And that land is talking, and so this Arsareth is talking about the Americas. Okay. This is where the northern kingdom had come to. You see? So the northern kingdom, they left their Syrian captivity and came over to the western hemisphere of the world. And that Syrian captivity, that was way before Yahushua, way before 70 AD. So the northern kingdom was already over here on the western hemisphere of the earth. All right, before Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, aka the southern kingdom, had come over here. Okay? Which is why, oh man, this dude. Which is why it says in verse 46, it says, "Then dwelt they there until the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come," meaning, the three tribes, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, came to the other side of the world. And how did they come to the other side of the world? By the transatlantic slave trade, man. All right. Now when they shall begin to come, verse 47, the highest, the most high, Yahweh, shall stay the springs of the stream again. He will calm the waters again. Why? That they may go through. So the Lord had to calm the seas again, so the other three tribes, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, could come to the western hemisphere. Okay? And this is where, but how did they get here? By those cargo slave trips. It's like those cargo slave ships. All right? Deuteronomy 28:68. "And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships." And this Egypt is talking about America. Okay? Because you have the book of Revelation, the 11th chapter and 8th verse, and it says, "And their dead bodies," talking about spiritually dead, "shall lie in the street of the great city," which is America, which spiritually is called Sodom. All right? Because America upholds and practices that HOMO behavior. And Egypt. All right? Ancient Egypt was a hardcore captivity for the Israelites, and America is also a hardcore captivity for the Israelites again. All right? But this new Egypt, this Egypt talking about here in Deuteronomy 28:68 is America. All right? It says, "And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships." How do so-called black people arrive here in the land of North America? By way of cargo slave ships, man. All right? But see, this is also a curse, but as well, this is also prophecy taking place as well. You see? The Lord, man, is far out, man. All right? This is prophecy, man. All right? Let me get this scripture because, how it goes with it. This is the book of Isaiah, the 55th chapter, starting at verse 8. "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." You see? So, somebody may say, well, why did the Lord bring us over here for this? Well, one, we disobeyed the Lord, okay? Because it tells you in Deuteronomy 28:15, I'll read it. It says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." All right? So if we didn't listen to the Lord and keep the, law, statutes, commandments, these curses written in here would happen to us. And there's more curses written than blessings, and they have happened to us, man. They've happened to the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Seminole Indians. These curses have happened to us, man. All right? All right? So, but, also, this is prophecy taking place. Okay? This is prophecy, man. All right? The Lord had this happen, because let me get this as well. This is the book of Deuteronomy, the 33rd chapter, because once again, remember, all 12 tribes of the nation Israel, we're the same people, okay? And the northern kingdom was already over here on the western hemisphere, right? But now the southern kingdom, right? And this specific one specifically talking about Judah. This is the book of Deuteronomy, the 33rd chapter, in the 7th verse. "And this is the blessing of Judah. And he said, Hear, Yahweh, the voice of Judah, and bring him unto his people." And bring him unto his people. How? His people were already over here in the western hemisphere, and Judah was over there. So how would the Lord bring Judah, or the so-called Negroes, onto the western hemisphere? By way of the cargo slave ships. By way of the cargo slave ships, man. All right? This is prophecy, okay? And this is also Deuteronomy 33rd chapter. Is another chapter that we can use to identify who our people are, okay? who the real Israelites are. All right. But 2nd Ezra 13:47 says, the highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through. Therefore sawest thou the multitude with peace. Verse 48, but those that be left behind of thy people, which are the 3 tribes, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, are they that are found within my borders. All right. And let me get something else about the Arsareth, further proving that it's the North, America. All right, or the Americas. All right, because when you go into 1 Kings, right? 1 Kings, the 10th chapter, and starting in verse 21, it says, and all King Solomon's drinking vessels were of gold, and all the vessels of the house of the forest of Lebanon were of pure gold, none were of silver. It was nothing accounted of in the days of Solomon. For the king had at sea a navy of Tarshish, all right, which Tarshish is in Spain, all right. It says, bringing gold and silver, ivory and apes and peacocks. Now the apostle Ramlab had went into this, all right. When you look up peacocks, all right, and you go into the Blue Letter Bible, and for that scripture, when you go into the Hebrew, for that word peacocks in 1 Kings 22, all right, this is why we have to look at words, man. 1 Kings chapter 22, peacocks, it says, Thakayayim, if I'm saying that wrong, Salakia. When you go down to where it says Gesenius's Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon, and you read it, it says also pavo. All right, now pavo, when you look it up, all right, that's Spanish, either Spanish or Latin. All right, but it goes into meaning turkey, and turkeys are native to America. Okay, so this navy, they went. It says once in 3 years, bringing to King Solomon these different things. So they came over here to the Americas, but it said once in 3 years. Now it said also that it took the Northern Kingdom a year and a half to get to the land of Arsareth, right? So to show you that Arsareth is the Americas, all right, which is also where King Solomon had his navy come and bring him back these different things, all right? Now it says once in 3 years, right? So now when you look up, it says once in 3 years. So if you're going to somewhere to bring somebody something, right? Going there and going back, that's called a round trip, right? So it said once in 3 years. Now when you do 3 divided by 2, you get 1.5. Okay, a year and a half rather. All right, because you have to go there, a year and a half to go there, and a year and a half to come back bringing what you got. All right, and that's the same amount of time it took for the Northern Kingdom to reach Arsareth, proving that Arsareth is the Americas. Okay, it proves that, man. All right, so the Northern Kingdom was already here, dwelling in the land of America. Okay, or in the Americas rather. Okay, prior to Christopher Columbus. Okay, and prior to the transatlantic slave trade. All right, when you look at these different history movies, like the transatlantic slave trade and everything, it always shows Jake starting off in Africa. All right, but this, Lord, man, he's far out, man. So putting all the pieces together, the Northern Kingdom being in the Americas, and the Southern Kingdom, going to the Western Hemisphere of the Earth. All right, to the Americas as well. Hey, man, so majority of the Israelites are dwelling on the Western Hemisphere of the Earth. All right, you got Gad, all right, and the Gad. Well, you have Gad dwelling on the so-called Native Americans. They had what? North America, and even different, and even up in Canada as well, etc., man. And you have other tribes, etc. But let me get this: is the book of Genesis, the 49th chapter, in the first verse. It says, "And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days." Okay, you know. So, pretty much, Jacob gathered his sons to tell them what happened to their descendants in the last days. In the last days, all right, you know, started 2,000 years ago. Hebrews 1:1 tells you that, all right. When Yahweh Shai was on the earth, you know. So right now we're in the last of last days, okay. And this also shows that the last days won't be in 10, 50, 100, etc. years from now. All right, but these prophecies that would happen to the descendants of the 12 patriarchs, all right, these prophecies will happen. These prophecies in Genesis 49, they will happen to their descendants, which are us Israelites, all right, but on the other side of the world, on the Western Hemisphere, okay, because our homeland is the land of Israel, not Africa, not South America, not the Caribbean, not North America, not Central America, not Canada. No, it's the land of Israel. Right? That was the land that was given to our forefathers. All right, that is the land of Israel. Does not belong to these fake Jews. It doesn't belong to these Palestinians. It doesn't belong to them Arabs over there. It doesn't belong to them. It belongs to the nation of Israel. All right, but you have heathens dwelling in it right now. See, we were kicked out of the land. All right, but we're going back. This is the book of Ezekiel, the 36th chapter, and the 5th verse. It says, "Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen." And the heathen are the other nations that are not the Israelites. Okay? And against all Idumea. And now, as this comes out, handy dandy compact Bible dictionary, let's look up Idumea. All right? Idumea. Idumea. Here it is. It says, pertaining to Edom, Greek and Roman name for Edom. Who are Edom? The so-called white men, so-called white people. They are the nation of Edom. In the Hebrew, the way you say Edom is Adawam. All right? They're the Edomites. Okay, the so-called white men. All right? So-called white people. Their father goes, based upon their father's lineage. The mothers, based upon their father's, lineage. Their father goes back to being an Edomite, then you're an Edomite, no matter how you look. All right, and there's nothing you can do to change that. Okay, but I'm gonna read it again. Ezekiel 36:5. "Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which I have appointed my land, the land of Israel, into their possession, with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey." All right. And let me just see if there's anything on the word heathen real quick. Because heathen usually used for non-Israelitish people, and thus has the meaning of Gentiles. The differentiation between Israelites and Gentiles more sharply accentuated in New Testament times and in Old Testament times. The reason for this being chiefly that the Jews had suffered so much from Gentile hands. Gentiles were looked upon with the aversion and hatred. This is evident in the New Testament. It says God's interest and in concern for the heathen is seen in the Old Testament, especially in the book of Jonah. In the New Testament, Yahweh Shai commanded the apostles to preach the gospel to all the world, find and proclaiming it to Gentile nations throughout the Mediterranean world. But pretty much, heathens is talking about the other nations that's not the Israelites. All right. So, so the land, of Israel, all right, is in the what? It has heathens in it, okay? But the Lord is going to put the Israelites back in their homeland, all right? And we're going to have to wait on the Lord to do this, man, all right? Can't do it off of our own strength, all right? You can't go and wait. It's like you can't go to the land of Israel, all right, and, try to set up shop. No, man, you got to wait on the Lord. Isaiah 14:1, "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land." So the Lord is the one that's going to do it. All right. Let me get another precept. This is the book of Amos, chapter 9, starting verse 14. And I will bring again the captivity of my people of Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them. And I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land, which I have given them, saith Yahweh thy power. All right, another precept. Find it. Okay, this is the book of Baruch, chapter book of Baruch, chapter 2, starting at verse 34 to 35. It says, and I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And they shall be lords of it, and I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them, to be their power, and they shall be my people. And I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them. You see that? So, we're going home. The Israelites are going home. And even in that very same chapter of the book of Ezekiel, okay, you know, it says the same thing. Ezekiel 36, getting right to the point, verse 8. Ezekiel 36 and 8. But ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches and yield your fruit to my people of Israel, for they are at hand to come. So the real Israelites are about to go back home, man. All right? Oh, yeah. You know? And, it's lucky. You know, but, you know, I could go into Genesis 49. All right? But, I don't know if the phone will cut off again, you know, but pretty much, man, you know, these things add up. And when you go through Genesis 49, Deuteronomy 28, Deuteronomy 33, okay, it shows you that the Israelites are indeed the so-called Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Latinos, Native American, and Seminole Indians, man. All right, you know, but see, now we're in this land, all right, in the Americas for the most part, okay. You know, our people are waking up to who they are, all right? Because there was a point in time, you know, where we, you know, forgot who we are, okay? But now the Lord is waking us back up, all right? You know, this is why this truth is going out. This is why you see so-called Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Latinos, Native American, and Seminole Indians professing and proclaiming that we are the Hebrew Israelites, okay? And that this truth is only for the nation of Israel. The kingdom of heaven is only for the nation of Israel, and salvation is only for the nation of Israel. Repentance is only for the nation of Israel, etc. Okay? These Christians can't understand that. They don't know prophecy, man. This is the book of Revelation, the 11th chapter, and verse 11. It says, and after 3 days and a half, and then 3 days and a half, it's really talking about 350 years. All right? When you do, I'll do it right now, actually. You know, because when you do the year 1969, because that's not the year 1969, that's, you know, really the year when the truth started being preached again. It's the year when, you know, Jake started waking up, you know. So let's do 1969 minus the year 1619, which was what? The slave trade, right? And that equals out to 350 years. Okay? Look, 1969 minus 1619. 350 years. Okay? And, you know, so after that time period, you know, between 1619 and 1969, after that time period, says the spirit of life from Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah entered into them. We woke back up. Let me get a precept. This is Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, and Ezekiel 37:5. So thus saith the Lord Yahweh unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. And this is the understanding of the truth. Okay? You know? So, we started waking up, all right? You know? And this is a fact, man. Like, this is prophecy that we woke up. You can't stop prophecy, man. You see? And there, even though there's Jakes out that don't believe the truth, well, they don't believe the fact that they're Israelites. Well, that's them, you know. In the kingdom of heaven, all Israel are gonna know that they're Israelites. Okay, that's gonna be without saying. All right, Jake is gonna know that they're Israelites, man. Okay, but you know, but it's prophecy that we will wake up and come to this truth. Okay, or realize we're Israelites, but only the elect is really going to get the truth. Revelation 11:11 again, it says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Okay, so here we are now. Okay, but this ain't the end. We have Yahweh Shai gonna come back and deliver a remnant of the nation of Israel. Okay, and let me get this real quick. And you see, once again, this truth is not only just for the for the southern kingdom. It's for the nation of Israel, man, southern and northern kingdom. Okay, and we wake back up to who we are, and the Lord has His men telling, preaching, all right, telling Jake who they are. Let me just get something real quick. Salakia. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 1 and verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place... Salakia, grab me just 1 second. Yeah, Hosea 1 and 10 again, it says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. All right? So yet, even though all this is happening, Jake would still be as the sand of the sea. It says, then it shall come to pass that in the place, all right, which that place is North America, all right, also, also in the rest of the world as well, but North America, that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. All right, I got a note here. All right, so in that same place where we were told that we weren't the chosen people of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, we will be told that we are the chosen people of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. And how will this happen? By the Lord bringing up His men to tell Jake who they really are. You see this? So, amen. The Israelites are here, and the Israelites know who they are. Okay, and the world, knows who the Israelites are, man. All right, but and starting with our apostles, now there's a great millstone, and the brothers under them teaching the same doctrine as them. Sincerely, we are waiting. We are awaiting our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai's magnificent and glorious return to this world, His second coming. And it ain't no white man, all right? Ain't nobody named no JC, okay? It's Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, and He's coming back to take over this world, man, this planet, all right, in righteousness, okay? When the Lord, and guess what? You're gonna have a lot of Israelites, that get you're gonna have Israelites from northern and southern kingdom getting saved. But first, go into this awakening, okay? All right. So like you go into this awakening, this truth had to be taught, because not only is Jake, because the truth, started being taught in New York, all right? You have our apostles, now there's a great millstone out there. All right, but this truth would be, this doctrine of great millstone would have to be worldwide, man. It would have to be preached worldwide. This doctrine that GMS teaches would have to be, Salaki, this doctrine that GMS teaches would have to be preached worldwide, man. All right? And how would that, and because the elect, Jake is scattered all throughout the world. Not only in the Western Hemisphere, but all over the world, even in the eastern part of the world. in the western and eastern hemisphere. Jake is scattered throughout all of that, man. And you have Jake in different countries, all right, waking up to this doctrine, this truth, all right? So let me read something real quick. This is the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter and the 14th verse. In this gospel, the doctrine in which Great Millstone teaches shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Okay? You know? And how would this happen? Well, let me get this scripture. Let me get two precepts real quick, or a couple precepts real quick. This is the book of 2nd Ezra. 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 20. And it says, when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The books shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. And what's in the firmament? You know, the satellites, you know. So the lessons that we do, all right, go to the satellite, and the satellite sends it back to people's houses, all right, and they can watch the lessons. You know, this is called what? The internet, all right. Let me get a precept. This is the book of Psalms. The book of Psalm chapter 19, starting at verse 1. The heavens declare the glory of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, and the firmaments showeth his handiwork. Verse 2. Day unto day uttereth speech, night unto night showeth knowledge. Verse 3. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Right? You can hear the truth in different languages. Verse 4. Their line is going out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun. But this truth is this doctrine of the Great Millstone is being preached throughout all the world, man. All the world. All right? Via what? The internet. This is how the word is getting, you know, in different countries. You got brothers in Italy, brothers in Africa, okay? Brothers in South America, the Caribbean, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, you know? Shalom, Makim. All right? You got brothers all over the world waking up. All right? And Yahushua said what? Matthew 24 and 14, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. And we see the end about to happen. You see? So this doctrine will be preached through all the world, you know, and then the end would come. All right, but let me get something else. This is the book of Revelation, the 7th chapter. All right? Revelation, the 7th chapter, and starting from verse 1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor any tree. Okay? And this wind is talking about nuclear wind. Let me get that precept. This is the book of Jeremiah. You know, Jeremiah, the 51st chapter, in verse 1, it says, Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. All right, so it's talking about nuclear wind. All right, but the angels are holding that back. You know, the angels are holding back the destruction. Right, verse 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. All right, and that seal, all right, you know, that seal exempt from judgment. All right, but bear with me 1 second. Let me get a precept. It says, this is the book of Ephesians, all right, chapter 1, and verse 13. It says, In whom ye also trusted after that ye heard the word of truth, the gospel of your salvation, in whom also after that ye believed, ye were sealed with the Holy Spirit of promise, man. All right. So I'm gonna hold that on deck, and I'm gonna read verse 2 and verse 3. It says, And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having a seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. Verse 3, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. So he's pretty much saying, don't bring the destruction, you know, until the elect get the truth. That's what this angel is saying, you know. So until the elect get the truth, you know, the angels are going to hold back the 4 winds. You see, they're going to hold back. It's like they're going to hold back the destruction. All right, until the elect get the truth. Once the elect get the truth, and the destruction. Once the elect wake up and get the truth, then the elect, it's like then the destruction is going to take place. So I'm going to read that verse 3 again, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. Ephesians 1:13, in whom ye also trusted after that ye heard the word of truth, the gospel of your salvation, and whom also after that ye believed, ye were sealed with that Holy Spirit of promise. Okay? You know? So, until the elect get the truth, all right, you know, the angel's going to hold back the destruction. But we can see that destruction might take place. So the elect, you know, a lot of the elect is woken up, man. Let me keep reading. Verse 4, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. You see, so look at this great story, man. You know, here it is. You know, we all had to where the northern kingdom left, you know, they were in the captivity when they left, came to the southern, it's like it came to the western hemisphere of the earth, dwelt in the Americas, 70 AD. Jake, you know, got kicked out, fled into Africa, and they also came to the western hemisphere of the world. You know, we went through that hell, all right, because it's written how you know, this devil will come over here and give us hell, man. Let me get that real quick. Come to the western hemisphere of the world and give us hell. This is the book of Daniel. When I say devil, I'm talking about the so-called white man. That is the devil the Bible speaks of. Daniel 7:21. It says, I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints. And who's the saints? Quick draw. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 148 and verse 14. It says, he also exalted the horn. Salakia. It says, he also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel. The people near unto him praise ye Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. So the saints are the Israelites. Okay? You know? So Daniel 7:21, I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints, and prevailed against them. And it's talking about when, you know, the so-called white man Esau, he came to the Americas, you know, and took down the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom and enslaved them. Precept to that is Revelation. Revelation chapter 13 and so bear with me 1 second. Yeah, this is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, the Israelites, and to overcome them. And power was given, and to overcome them. You see that? This devil came to the western hemisphere of the earth, all right, and took down the so-called Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Latinos, Native American, and Seminole Indians, man, the Israelites. He touched the people of the Lord, the people near unto him, all right? The people near unto the Lord, you know? He gonna pay for that, man, all right? It says, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and overcome them. So it was ultimately set up for the so-called white man to do this, okay? And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. You know, the so-called white man is ruling over the earth. Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. All right. But continuing on, right? So continuing on with the point. So the Lord had this stuff happen. The Israelites came to the western hemisphere of the earth, got beat down, all right, etc. All right. You know, after a certain period of time, the truth started getting preached again, and here we are today. All right. And this doctrine that GMS teaches, the truth, all right, which is the truth, is getting spread worldwide. Okay, and you know, as it's being preached simultaneously, we see the end being, you know, we seeing the nuclear weapons, we see all these things. All right, we seeing prophecy about to pop off, man. So the Lord is doing these things, man. The Lord is bringing prophecy forth, man. Okay, and the end of this devil's world is at hand. The end of his period of time to rule, because that word "world" in the Greek, one of the definitions is eon, right, which means a period of time or age. So this devil's period of time or age to rule is almost at its end. All right. You know, so, you know, the Lord, you know, having all these things happen, and then us waking up, knowing who we are, okay, you know, and, you know, the elect waking up, all right, prophecy is taking place, man. So keep reading the Revelation 7, all right, you know, and also, too, you know, the nation of Israel coming back together, okay, Revelation 7:4, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, This is a beautiful movie, man. You know, the Lord is doing. It says, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. All right, so all the tribes of the children of Israel. It's about to list the tribes of the children of Israel. And you'll also see that the tribe of Dan is not in the not in this chapter, okay? Because Dan is not a tribe anymore within the nation of Israel. You know, they are within the rest of the nation of Israel and the different rest of the tribes. They're within, you know, without the they're within the rest of the tribes of the nation of Israel. All right. When you read Genesis 49, it mentions Dan, but here in Revelation the 7th chapter is telling you who the tribes of the children of Israel are, who the 12 tribes of Israel are, and Dan is not a part of them anymore. All right. So don't worry about the tribe of Dan. Don't worry about it. We have and know who the Israelites are. The tribe of Dan is within the nation of Israel. All right. You know, Revelation 7 and 5 of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. All right. So 12,000. You know, so-called Negroes. Of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000. You know, 12,000. You know, Reubenites were, you know, so-called Seminole Indians. The tribe of Gad were still 12,000, so-called 12,000 so-called Native American Indians, North American Indians, right? The tribe of Asher was still 12,000, you know, 12,000 Asherites, you know, 12,000 so-called South Americans, all right? The tribe of Naphtali were still 12,000, so, you know, 12,000 so-called Argentinian and Chileans. Right, the tribe of Manasseh was still 12,000, you know, 12,000 so-called Cubans. The tribe of Simeon were still 12,000, 12,000 so-called Dominicans. The tribe of Levi were still 12,000, so 12,000 so-called Haitians, which Levi also the southern kingdom, Judah is also the southern kingdom. The tribe of Issachar was still 12,000, you know, 12,000 so-called Mexicans. The tribe of Zebulon was still 12,000, 12,000 so-called Central Americans, you know, from, and, you know, tribe of Zebulon are the people from Guatemala to Panama, you know. So your father is a so-called, you know, Guatemala, any of those, you know, so-called Guatemalan, Honduran, Panamanian, Nicaraguan, etc. Then you are a Hebrew Israelite of the tribe of Zebulon. All right. It says the tribe of Joseph was still 12,000, and Joseph, all right, is interchangeable with Ephraim. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 1. And verse 32. And it says, of the children of Joseph, namely of the children of Ephraim, by their generations after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. But the point is, it says the children of Joseph, namely of the children of Ephraim. So Joseph, all right, is interchangeable with Ephraim, okay? So when we read Revelation 7, then it says that the tribe of Joseph is talking about the tribe of Ephraim, which the tribe of Ephraim are the so-called Puerto Ricans. So it says the tribe of Joseph were sealed 12,000, all right, which were so 12,000 so-called Puerto Ricans. So-called because these are the names that were put upon us Israelites, but we're not actually Puerto Ricans, Negroes, Cubans, Dominicans, etc. All right, we're Israelites from our different prospective tribes. All right, says the tribe of Benjamin were still 12,000, right? 12,000 so-called West Indians. All right. Verse 9, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne, before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. All right. And it says of all these nations, because Jake has been scattered among all these nations. You know, these are Israelites here in Revelation 7 and 9, not heathen nations. Because Revelation the 5th chapter, you know, and 9th verse, it says, and they sung a new song, saying, thou art worthy to take the book and open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to Yahweh by thy blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation. All right. So he says, out of Israelites. Jacob's been scattered amongst these nations. All right. You know, amongst all nations. So, amen. You know, what happens? And Yahweh Shai is going to come back and deliver his elect. All right. And they're only Israelites, man. You know, this is the book of Matthew, and I think I'll end it with this one. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, starting verse 30 through 31. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Because Yahweh Shai is going to come back to this world via what's called UFOs, all right, which are actually a chariot to the Lord. All right, the Bible talks about them. All right, it says verse 31, and he, Yahweh Shai, shall send its angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. And the elect, all right, are all Israelites, man. All right, so the Lord is going to gather his elect from all over the world. Okay, you know, the Lord's going to gather his elect from all across the world, man. You see, Jacob's been scattered among the world, all throughout the world. All right, but you know, so this shows that the elect are Israelites. Okay. But when Yahweh Shai returns, he's going to beam up his elect and what the world ignorantly calls UFOs. All right? He's going to beam them up. You see? And Israel, see, because after this, you know, hey, man, after this devil goes down, after America's destroyed, Israelites are going to be the next ruling power over the earth. 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. Okay? So you see this great, magnificent story the Lord has put together, man. All right? You know? So we just got to wait. You know, right now, we're in a period of time where the famine of the word is about to happen, all right, because the truth has been being preached, all right, and it's still being preached, but we're in the time the famine of the word is about to happen, and Jacob's trouble is about to show forth, all right. We know Yahweh Shai is going to come, and World War III is about to happen. The MOTB, the Charagma, is about to be implemented, so we know that, but we know that in the midst of World War III, Yahweh Shai is going to return, all right, so we're right here, man. We're close. We are close to Yahweh Shai's second return to this world, okay. You just got to wait and be patient and hold on to the faith. And actually, I'll end it with this. Matthew 24 and 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. All right? It's about enduring and holding on to this faith to the end. You know? Get us brothers here, we're going to be persecuted, man. All right? Etc. Some of us going to be put to death, but it's prophecy. Nevertheless, the elect's still going to be on the chariot, whether they have died for this truth or not. Okay? So... yeah, man. So, hey, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. All right? You know, this is a magnificent movie the Lord has put together, man. All right? Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all the praises, honor, and glory to whom it rightfully belongs, which is Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Ruel. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. Peace, which in Hebrew, Shalom. So, Shalom to the elect.